The Buddha spoke about four kinds of food, four kind of nutriments. He said that nothing can survive without food, and depends on what kind of food that we can stay happy, healthy, and joyful. And the first kind of food called a nutriment is edible food. That is the kind of food that go in our body through the way of the mouth. And our health and our joy, our peace depends very much on the way we eat. We eat in such a way that can preserve compassion. Because without compassion, one person cannot be happy. Without compassion, you cannot relate to any living beings. So the Buddha recommended that we eat in such a way that can retain compassion in our heart. He talked about a young couple who fled their country. They had to cross a desert. And the couple brought with them their little boy. Halfway through the desert, they ran out of food. And they knew that all of them will die. And that is why they made a very terrible kind of decision. They killed the little boy. They ate the flesh of the little boy to survive. Every day they ate one morsel of that flesh and kept the rest on the shoulder to dry. And each time, having finished eating one piece of that flesh, they beat their chest, they pulled their hair, and they asked, "Where is now our beloved baby, our beloved little boy?" But finally, they got out of the desert and was accepted as a refugee. The story must have been a true story. The Buddha hear from that couple. So after having told the story to the monks, he said, "Dear brothers, dear friends, do you think that the couple enjoy eating the flesh of their son?" And the monk said, "Dear teacher, it's impossible. Impossible to enjoy eating the flesh of your own son." The Buddha said, "In that case, let us eat in such a way that can preserve compassion in our heart. Otherwise, we are eating the flesh of our sons and daughters." In fact, the way we eat has harmed a lot the world. Tens of thousands of children die every day because of the lack of food. And thousands of acres of forests are being cut down because we need the meat industry is devastating the planet, polluting the planet. And we have used an enormous amount of grain in order to make alcohol. And that amount of grain should be used in order to save children from dying because of hunger. So if we eat a lot of meat like that, if we drink a lot of alcohol like that, we are practically eat the flesh of our daughters and our sons. ruining the health of Mother Earth. So that is what the Buddha recommended. Mindful eating. You can eat healthy and well. And you can refrain from using too much meat and alcohol. And scientists told us that if we can reduce the eating of meat and the drinking of alcohol by 50%, we can already change the situation of the world. The second source of nutriment is sense impressions. This kind of food we don't consume with our mouth, but with our eyes, ear, nose, body and mind. When we read an article in a magazine, we consume. When we watch television, we consume. When we listen to music, we consume. When we are having a conversation, we consume. And what we are consuming should be healthy. Because many of the items we consume, including conversation, are toxic. When you talk with someone and what they tell you may be full of despair, anger, hate, and while listening you are consuming these toxics. And children, while watching television, playing electronic game, can consume a lot of violence and anger and fear. And that is why there must be a strategy of consumption to protect ourselves, to protect our family and our nation. They are trying to sell their products in order to get more money. But you have to be careful. You have to refrain from buying and consuming the products that bring into us many toxins like fear, anger, despair, and so on. And that is the second source of nutriment. You have to be very careful for our health and for public health. School teachers, parents, congressmen, senators, members of the city council, they have to reflect on this in order to protect us, protect the people in our city. Imagine a neighborhood who is very angry, which is very angry, full of violence and hate. And if you happen to live in such a place, you are consuming the collective energy of anger, of despair. That is another kind of nutriments called consciousness. But if we do not protect ourselves, we will be producing that kind of energy. The third kind of nutriment is called volition. The will to act. Volition here means your desire, your deepest kind of desire. It gives you a lot of energy. Food. Of course, we have daily concerns. We want to have enough money, comfort, and affective material comfort and affective comforts. But we also have an ultimate concern. We want to do something with our own life. We want to realize something meaningful, long-lasting with our life. My life is not only for searching for material comforts or affective comforts. I want to do something meaningful with my life, and that is volition. And we have to sit down and identify our volition. What do I want to do with my life? And that is a source of nutriment. The will to live, the will to do something with our life. The Buddha also had a strong volition. He wanted to practice and liberate himself in order to help other people to suffer less. That is a good nutriment. A terrorist can have a strong volition. He wants to punish. He has a lot of anger. He wants to punish. And that is the energy that helps him to be alive, to do the things he wants to do. A terrorist might have perceptions that are not correct. They might think that they are punishing evil people in the name of God. And they think that they are going to die for God. These are the perceptions they have. They are ready to die in order to punish the people who should be punished. And the volition of a terrorist is made of these kind of things. Anger, the desire to punish. Or maybe the kind of belief that you are doing that for God, in the name of God. Next week we will be offering a day of mindfulness for employees of Google, and we have a day of practice for corporate leaders in Northern California, and we are going to talk to them about volition. What is the kind of motivation behind everything. Google asked Thầy to speak about intention, insight, and innovation. And intention is equivalent to volition. The problem is that I think they want to feel that becoming a rich person, there's nothing wrong with that. Is it wrong to have a lot of money? Because to have a lot of money is a volition. To succeed in your attempt, to succeed in your corporation is a volition, a motivation. We cannot say that to have a lot of money is an evil thing. Because if you are full of compassion, inside, and then you know how to use that money in order to help people suffer less. But if you are destroying your body and your mind in order to have money, that is not good. So what is your volition? And many of the corporate leaders have found out that the purpose of their life is not just money or fame or social recognition or rising stock price, but happiness. Last month we spent one day with the World Bank practicing mindful walking, mindful sitting, mindful lunch. And one person in a question and answer session, one person asked about the willingness to become number one. That is volition. And I said that, well, you have to choose between being number one or being happy. You can. If becoming number one you suffer, it's not worth becoming number one. You should be happy. And if you are truly happy, full of love, understanding, and peace, and then to be number one does not harm you. But if you become number one, while you have to cause a lot of suffering to yourself and others, that's not worth it. And the Day of Mindfulness in World Bank is very successful. People love it and they want to follow up with the practice. And this is the second time we have a day of practice with Google people. Suppose a corporate leader, when he parked his car and walked to his office. Suppose he knows how to do walking meditation. There must be corporate leaders in this Sangha. And from your parking lot, walking to your office, if you know how to enjoy every step, if you can touch happiness, joy, the wonders of life, the kingdom of God in every step, it means that you have the capacity to live in the here and the now. You don't need to become a number one in order to be happy. Because walking like that, you are already happy. So with that capacity of walking and enjoying every step, you are free from that kind of habit, energy of running, pushing you, and making you full of stress and tension. So as a business leader, walking from the parking lot to your office, if you know how to do it, you become a different person already. And of course, you'll be a much better corporate leader, because you have peace, you have happiness, you have joy. You can generate joy, happiness, fulfillment with every step. You are not running like a mad person toward the goal to become number one. And success is not something that contradict happiness. And happiness is itself a success. you will not be victim of that kind of success. If you are successful in creating joy, love, understanding, and peace, you never become victim of that success. But to be number one is a success that can cost your life and so on. There was a lady who came to our retreat for business leaders, and she told us about her life as the wife of a business leader. Frederick was young, a successful business leader in Germany, and Laura is very proud of her husband. But as he continued, he did not have time for himself, for his wife, and for their son, because he had to maintain success. So first of all, Laura tried to forget that kind of loneliness, because he did not have enough time for himself, for her, for their son. So she went to the university and she learned for a degree, a more degree. She did charity work, but that did not help very much. And there are nights when she cried of her loneliness and so on. He was completely sucked on his business, the desire, the volition to be number one. And he said, "Dear Laura, nobody can replace me now. I will try my best. Maybe in 3 years I can find someone that can replace me, and I will have more time for you and for our son." And that is what he promised. But 1 month after that, he was killed in a car accident. And they replaced him in 3 days. And that lady came to our retreat and told us the story. So there are many Fredericks to be. And they have to learn from that lesson. They have to stop running. They have to arrange so that they have time for themselves and their beloved ones. They have to take care of that success first, and not to lose themselves in a desire to succeed in their corporation. If our volition is to create job for many other people, if we have the time to take care of ourselves and of our corporation and make the corporation into a kind of family, a kind of sangha, and then happiness is possible every day. And then the outcome, the product, the success will profit many other people. And if we suffer as a leader, we suffer as a corporation. And then you cannot say that you have a good volition. We have organized a few retreats for congressmen in Washington, D.C. and senators. They told us the life of a politician is very hectic. And many of them wrote us and said that from their office, walking to the place where they cast the vote, they always apply mindful walking. stop the thinking, just walk and feel the joy of walking every step. And they said that that practice saved them. They can survive thanks to that kind of practice. So I think walking meditation alone can already help a lot. From the parking lot to the place where you walk, where you work, if you know how to enjoy every step, touching joy and peace and the kingdom of God, the pure land of the Buddha with every step, you can be yourself and you will not lose yourself in your attempt to realize something. And the Buddha also gave the teaching to groups of businessmen. Anathapindika was one of the dearest lay disciples of the Buddha. Anathapindika offered the Buddha a park that he had purchased from a prince and offered to the Buddha as a practice center. And he loved serving the Buddha and the Sangha. He came for every day of mindfulness. He brought his family. And he took a great deal of pleasure practicing and serving the Buddha, the Sangha. And one day he brought many hundreds friends in the business circle to come and see the Buddha. And that day the Buddha gave a teaching. He understood, he knew that businessmen, they think too much about the future. So he said, gentlemen, you should know that it is possible to live happily in the present moment. So in that sutra, the Buddha offers ways to live, practicing the 5 mindfulness trainings, practicing recollection of the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and have happiness right in the here and the now, and not trying to look for happiness in the future. And the expression, live happily in the present moment, was repeated 5 times in the discourse. Drista Dhamma Sukha Vihara. Hiện Pháp lạc trú. What is happening in front of you in the present moment? Happily, living happily in the present moment. Vihara means to live, to dwell. Sukha means happily. Drista Dhamma is the present moment. And that is why I have said that I have arrived. It's the deepest teaching. It's the best Dhamma talk. I have arrived. If you have arrived in the here and the now, and if you are capable of touching the wonders of life in that present moment to get the nourishment and the healing, you are practicing the true teaching. Every breath can heal. Every step can heal and nourish. And yesterday I said that when we breathe in and focus our attention on our in-breath, many things happen. First of all, the mental discourse stopped. And then our fear, our anger, our fear, our uncertainty about future will stop. And also our regret and our sorrow concerning the past will stop. Because we are focusing only on our in-breath. And we find out that we are alive. And we can smile to life. That kind of freedom, that amount of freedom we get by breathing in, allow our body to relax. And as you can relax, the healing begins to take place. If you are still under the pressure, and then the healing is difficult, even if you take a lot of medication. So every step, every breath should bring us to the here and the now, so that we can truly arrive. And truly arrive, we can experience peace and joy, the joy of life, of living. The first exercise of mindful breathing is in and out. You practice being aware of your in-breath and out-breath. Aware of in-breath and out-breath. The second exercise of mindful breathing is to follow your in-breath and out-breath all the way through. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath all the way through, and that promotes concentration. And mindfulness and concentration are together, and you get the insight very easily. And then the third exercise of mindful breathing is breathing in, I'm aware of my body. You bring your mind home to your body. And when mind and body are together, you are well established in the here and the now. And it takes only 3 seconds to go home. And as you are home to your body, you might notice that there is tension, pain in your body. And that is why you practice the fourth exercise. Releasing the tension in the body, calming body. And as I have said, it's not because you want to release the tension that you can release tension right away. There should be some kind of insight. Like, I have been running a lot. And I have not found peace and happiness. And that is why I should be able to stop running in order to have true peace and happiness. I have seen many people with plenty of money and fame and power, and yet they are not happy. Why do I have to run like them? And that kind of insight helps you to really stop and release the tension. So it's not that you want to release the tension that you can release. You need to have some insight that you have been running, you have been seeking for peace, for happiness. And the more you do, the more stressful tends to become. That is the insight. With that insight, you can stop and release the tension. And if you feel you can release the tension, you feel peaceful, and your body begins to heal itself, you know that is the good path. And with the fifth exercise of mindful breathing, you come to the domain of feelings, and you are able to bring in, to generate a feeling of joy. And with the sixth one, you generate a feeling of happiness. A good practitioner of mindfulness can always generate a feeling of joy or of happiness whenever she wants. And the principle is simple. When you bring your mind home to your body and establish yourself in the here and the now, you notice that there are so many conditions of happiness that are already available. And you are much luckier than many other people. And it is possible for you to be happy right here and right now. You don't have to run anymore. That kind of insight helps you to create a feeling of joy and happiness right away. You can tell your partner, darling, don't you think that you are very lucky? Point to him. Show him that he is lucky. Person much luckier than many other people. In fact, we have more conditions than enough. More than enough conditions to be happy. Just recognize them. Like breathing in, I am aware of my eyes. And suddenly the insight comes, oh, my eyes are still in good condition. They are blind people, they cannot see anything. I have eyes in good condition. I need to only to open my eyes and then I enjoy the paradise of colors and of forms. You are in the paradise. And you don't appreciate the paradise because you don't have mindfulness. So mindfulness is a source of happiness. Because mindfulness help us to recognize the so many conditions of happiness that you already have. And that is why for a practitioner, generating a feeling of joy and of happiness is possible at any moment of their daily life. You can do it for yourself and you can help your partner, the other person, to do it. And that is the art of happiness. Using mindfulness, not money. You don't need money. You need only mindfulness. Mindfulness is a source of joy. Mindfulness is a source of happiness. And then the seventh exercise. You need the seventh exercise when a painful feeling, a painful emotion comes up. And a good practitioner never run away from the pain. She tries always to be there for her pain, her sorrow. And she's not afraid of being overwhelmed by that pain, that sorrow, because she is capable of generating mindfulness. With mindfulness, you can recognize the pain and embrace it tenderly and suffer less after a few moments of practice. And you can also make good use of the collective energy of mindfulness of your group, of your Sangha, to recognize and embrace your pain, and you get a relief. So the seventh exercise of mindful breathing is to recognize, to be aware of the painful feeling, and the aid is to calm it down, calming the pain. So this is the art of suffering. This is the art of happiness. The Buddha said that when there is pain, you should not exaggerate. You should not amplify your pain. And he thought about the second arrow. If someone is hit by an arrow, there is a pain. But if he allowed the second arrow to come and strike exactly at the same spot, the pain will not only be double, it may be 10 times, 20 times stronger. So when you have some pain in your body or in your mind, don't exaggerate with your anger, your fear, your imagination. Don't amplify that. Recognize it as it is and do not imagine, do not exaggerate. Do not let your fear, your anger, to make it 10 times stronger. If you need, you can consult a friend, a teacher, or a doctor, and not to imagine and to allow your fear, your anger to take over you. And then if you know how to generate the energy of mindfulness and recognize your pain, embrace tenderly, you get a relief after some time. When I was a young monk, I believed that the Buddha does not suffer at all. Because it seems that everybody believed that. And I found out that the Buddha does suffer because he has a body, he has feelings. From time to time, suppose one day the Buddha learned that his beloved disciple Sariputta died. And of course, a teacher, when he knows that his beloved disciple just died, he has to suffer. He is not a piece of rock. He is a human being, the Buddha. And then he also, from time to time, he has headache because he has a body. Sometimes he suffers of the cold. Sometimes he has some stomach problem. The Buddha, because he has a body and he has falling, he suffers like everyone. But because the Buddha has a lot of wisdom and compassion, as he knows how to suffer, that is why he suffers much, much less. The fact is that if you know how to suffer, you suffer much less. And you can make good use of suffering in order to create something positive like compassion, understanding. And that is what we shall learn tomorrow. When you suffer, when you know how to suffer, when you know the art of suffering, you suffer much less. And then you can make good use of the suffering to create understanding, compassion, and happiness. It's like someone making good use of the mud in order to grow lotus flowers.